Hello everyone, my name is Siren and today I'll be drawing Brian May from Queen as an astronaut. I promise the next video won't be Queen related, I just thought this idea was too cute to pass up. So the subject for this video is how I draw real people as cartoons, and I'm going to be using this drawing a lot as an example. And this isn't really a tutorial video, but I thought that some of you might find these tips sort of helpful if you want to draw someone as a cartoon. And if you have any questions about what I'm doing on screen, please don't be afraid to ask me down in the comment section. So my first tip is to use references. Find as many references of this person as you can. You know, you can go on Google, use Pinterest, just find as many pictures of this person from as many angles as you can. So like side profile, a front facing view, 3/4 view, anything that you can. And it doesn't have to be, you know, a famous person like I'm drawing. It can, you know, it can be a family member or a friend. Just make sure, ask them for photos and stuff, or that you see this person a lot, you probably already have the image of them in your head, so you can just kind of go off of that, but it's better to have an actual photo rather than just going off of memory. So once you gather up all of your references, you want to study those references, because the more you study those references, the more recognizable your drawing will be. So you want to pay attention to certain features like the shape of the eyes, the shape of the nose, their mouth, and especially hair, because those are usually the most distinct features on people. So if you just take the time to study those things, you'll start to see, for example, the nose. If you're looking at somebody's nose in all of your reference photos, you'll start to see consistency in it. Oh, this person has a bridged nose, and you'll start to see like the shape of it and all that. Just stuff like that. Pay attention to certain features on the face of the person, and once you start doing that, it'll be a lot easier to draw the person. And then, just as an added element of recognizability, does this person have any specific items or symbols that represent them? You could also do that to like further say that, hey, this is this person. So for this drawing, I have Brian's Red Special, you know, the guitar that he uses. When people see this drawing, they're like, oh yeah, that's Brian. So if this person has something like a favorite animal, favorite color, a significant object that they use or something like that, that could also be really helpful. So my second tip is to just draw. Don't worry if the drawing of this person is not great the first few times, because the first few times you just want to get a feel for how to draw the person. You know, you want to kind of experiment with how you're going to draw certain features on their face. You want to pay attention to what their face looks like, but you also kind of want to like experiment with certain features. So like, example, for the nose, there's a certain shape that the nose has. You want to keep that consistent, but maybe change the length of it, the width, but just keep the same general shape, if that makes sense. So basically what you want to do is just keep drawing this person until you're happy with the way it looks in the end. Like I said, it's not gonna look great the first, second, maybe even third or fourth time. The main point of this is just to explore and experiment and see what works and what doesn't. So then my third tip is kind of a two-in-one tip. It's to exaggerate and simplify certain things on the person. So as far as exaggeration goes, you want to pick their most prominent features to exaggerate. So for example, if the person has really big hair, make sure you draw this person with absolutely huge hair, you know? So one thing that I really like to exaggerate on people are eyes. I love to draw really big eyes for some reason. So that can be something that you can exaggerate. Maybe the nose, but sometimes you don't want to push certain features too far to the point where it's kind of like, you know, like borderline offensive. Usually the eyes and the hair are certain things. It's a safe thing to exaggerate. And also like maybe eyebrows and stuff like that. That's another way to further cartoonify the person that you're drawing. And then for simplifying your drawing, you don't want to add too much detail. This doesn't just apply to the face. This is for the entire drawing. You don't want to add so much detail, because the more detail you add, the less cartoony it's going to be in certain cases. So yeah, just make sure to balance that. I do like to draw a lot of detailed drawings, but what I'll do is I'll use just enough enough detail to add dimension, you know, just so that the drawing isn't completely flat. And then my fourth tip and final tip is to add your own style to it. It's not necessarily about how accurate the drawing is. I mean, it kind of is, but it's more so about believability. You want to look at this drawing of this person, you want to believe that this is that person, if that makes sense. And you just want to make the drawing yours, you know, you want to make it yours and have fun with it. And that's really the whole point of drawing real people as cartoons, or just drawing in general, is just have fun with what you're drawing, you know, as long as you're happy with the end result, that's really all that matters. And I don't want to make it sound like, oh, anatomy doesn't matter, you know. For something super simple and stylized, you know, you want to add some accuracy into your drawing, but super detailed arm muscles and leg muscles and stuff like that, it's not going to look very cartoony anymore. It's going to look more like an actual realistic drawing of that person. So don't worry too much about how accurate, you know, your anatomy is and stuff when you're drawing somebody as a cartoon. I hope that makes sense. So my question for all of you is, what are your methods for drawing real people as cartoons? So I gave you a few of my methods. I'm really curious to hear what your methods are for drawing people as cartoons, and maybe I'll learn something from you guys, and hopefully you guys learn something from me. So yeah. Well, everyone, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned a few things from me, and thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of the video. Bye!